There are two huge glaring examples that WWE is being ruined by now, and no, neither one of them is John Cena. In fact, one of them is probably one of the things that made WWE as big as it is in the first place, and that is celebrities. Wrestling and celebrities are pretty much synonymous at this point because some of the biggest movie stars we've seen in the past few years or decades have been wrestling stars in the past. Celebrities have been a part of wrestling since WrestleMania 1, with the likes of Muhammad Ali, Mr. T, and Cyndi Lauper basically headlining WrestleMania. There have been plenty celebrities who have made memorable moments that we all love as wrestling fans. And then you have the times of, the entirety of the 2010s where everybody hated every single celebrity that was on our television screen. And for some dumb reason, WWE keeps deciding to put on celebrities that we do not care about. We don't even know who they are. Let's do a little thought experiment right now. Who out of every single person who was watching Monday Night Raw liked the segment with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura? Please, raise your hands if you enjoyed it. Nobody? No, nobody at all? Then why is it a part of my wrestling show? Why is it on my television screen? I don't care about these guys. I certainly don't care about their Netflix specials. So why are they on my TV screen? In fact, do we actually want somebody on our wrestling show who, one, thinks wrestling is stupid, and two, thinks you're stupid if you like wrestling?
I think wrestling is for tards, but
it is.
But so many people,
so many people
it
love
is the stupidest. And I think you're a tool if you're like,
yeah,
hey man, it's not fake, it's fake, and you're a idiot.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
it was actually pretty fun.
What was
the event? Going to a live wrestling.
Yeah, so's the Special Olympics. It's a fun thing to go to. If you're over 11 and you're like, you see SmackDown last night? Jesus Christ.
That's how this guy was. And he knew all of them. And
then he tagged in his partner, and then they grabbed a chair. Man, I never thought we would see the day. That's how the ads for wrestling should be. It should be like, WWE, this is for diminished capacity. That should be their tag.
Like, why are we going to give this guy an entire segment if he hates the thing that he's on? Now, what Tom Segura said might just be an act. It might just be a comedy bit. But if it's not, this is literally one of the dumbest takes ever. I'm talking about in the history of humankind. And chances are, if you watch wrestling, if you're watching this video right now, you know that wrestling is scripted. These are characters. They're in storylines. The matches are predetermined and they have spots. They try to get to those spots to make you enjoy the product that you are currently watching. That's their entire job. And we, as fans, understand this. You're either there for the storylines, the characters, or the wrestling, or maybe a combination of the three or all three all together. But we're not here to watch an actual sport. This is not like the UFC. This is not football. This is not the NBA. This is professional wrestling. A scripted show for wrestlers to do the craziest things you could ever imagine. Like, Tom, you really can't be this dumb, can you? And like I said, I get it. They're there to promote their stupid Netflix specials that probably nobody's gonna watch. And we, once again, as wrestling fans, do not care. Plain and simple. And then on the list of celebrities that nobody cared about in wrestling for the past year, we have Travis Scott. Not only is he here basically not doing anything of substance, but he is literally part of one of the greatest moments in wrestling history when John Cena won his 17th world title at WrestleMania 41. People are going to remember You know, that's a huge thing. He broke Ric Flair's record. But the only thing that's going to be a huge just stain on that memory is John Cena won because of Travis Scott, not because John Cena was the better wrestler that night. It isn't Cena winning his 17th world title. It is John Cena wins his 17th world title with the help of Travis Scott. Bro. Now, I don't want to completely just glaze over every single celebrity throughout wrestling history because that would not be fair. Mr. T, Cyndi Lauper, and Muhammad Ali did a lot for wrestling at WrestleMania 1, and there is no just going over that like it's nothing. Mr. T was in a match. Cyndi Lauper had her music playing at WrestleMania 1, and Muhammad Ali showed up when he doesn't have to. This is a fake sport. Why would he be there? He's one of the greatest boxers of all time. So let's fast forward a little bit to other great celebrities within wrestling. You have Bad Bunny, which in my opinion might be the best celebrity in wrestling ever, which I know is a huge take, you know, but let's just understand Bad Bunny for a second. He likes wrestling. He likes watching he loves wrestling. He was willing to put his body on the line multiple times, even in a hardcore match against Damian Priest. How many celebrities are willing to do something like that? Sure, they'll come on and, say a few things, do a promo, promote their little thing. But how many are willing to go into a match, a actual full-fledged match, and come out victorious? Do an entire hardcore match where he's getting hit with all kinds of crap. There's not many celebrities out there that are gonna be willing to do that. I don't want to speak for all fans when it comes to Bad Bunny, but he has certainly earned my respect as a wrestling fan. And in my opinion, he should be welcome to the squared circle anytime he wants. And even by extension, Logan Paul fits in this category as well. Though he has a dodgy past and somewhat present, there is absolutely no denying the crazy athlete that Logan Paul is. And with this previous SmackDown, he's pretty decent on the mic. So not only is he putting his body on the line, but he's actually showing up to shows more than, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at least. And I'm not saying that these two guys are better wrestlers than Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, name any wrestler you want. I'm just saying they are in the upper echelon of celebrities in wrestling because they're willing to do the stuff that we as the fans love. So I hope we all can agree that celebrities should be welcome, but used sparingly and only when necessary. We shouldn't be shoehorning them in to our show and it feels all disjointed and everything. And maybe give people screen time that actually deserve it. No one comes to mind. No one. And now for problem number 2. I like the way Triple H books for the most part. We have storylines that actually make sense, and we even have callbacks to the past for present day storylines. Things are easy to follow, and like for a better term, they just make sense. We used to have it to where we would have storylines, they come, they drop off, we never see the ending to it. At least here we get endings, or if not endings, transitions into other storylines, as opposed to, the old guard's way of let's just try this out, and if it doesn't work, we're going to drop it immediately. The only thing I don't like about the methodical planning that goes into WWE nowadays is there's no wiggle room for randomness. See, when a wrestler has screen time, that's their one chance to get over with the crowd. It doesn't matter if they're having a 15-minute match or 30-second promo. Their job is to either get booed or cheered. And if they don't get on the show, they can't do that for the most part. If somebody gets over and it's not within WWE's plan to push that person, then there's no way to put them in the weekly rotation. WWE doesn't like to strike on somebody when the iron is hot. Instead, we have to wait for storylines to finish and wait to start pushing this person. And then we wait and wait and wait. And then finally, WWE gives us what we want. And we no longer care as much. Everyone right now is talking about Karrion Kross, how he's selling the most merch. Every time he's on screen, he's only getting about 30 to 40 seconds, but it's the biggest pop of the night. And still, he's, like I said, 30 to 40 seconds. This week, he didn't get any time at all. We gave it to two comedians that no one cares about, and one of them doesn't even like the product. And there have been plenty of examples over the past 2 years of wrestlers that the fans, wanted to see more of. We wanted to see them push. We wanted to see them. And what did we get? We have to sit here and wait. And now, like I said, we don't care as much. Like, take LA Knight, for example. When he was over, he was over. He was the loudest pop of the night, hands down. Now look at him. Still getting pops, getting cheered, but it's just not as big anymore. And now, instead of being in the main event scene, he's relegated to this United States Championship scramble and Money in the Bank matches, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world, but where he could have been to where he is now just seems kind of We have two former world champions, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, in this United States scramble that just ended. Then you have champion Jacob Fatu, who feels like he's at the right place that he should be at. He's over with the crowd, and he's got a championship around his waist. I don't think he's necessarily ready for the main event scene, but you know who was 2 years ago? LA Knight. And now he has nothing. He's not the United States champion. He has no real storyline going on that doesn't have to do with Jacob Fatu and, I guess, the bloodline, the family, whatever they're calling him now. And I don't know. I guess people think he's going to win Money in the Bank. I don't think so, but prove me wrong, WWE. And then, like I said, the other three, you have Priest and Drew, who are stuck in this like never-ending feud. Like, it finally looks like it ended, but that's only because Drew had to take time off. I guarantee you, if he didn't have to, this feud would have probably still gone on till like SummerSlam, or hopefully not WrestleMania again. Jacob Fatu, who seems like he's stuck in the I must break away from the Samoans storyline that every Samoan seems to have nowadays. Jay did it, Jimmy did it, Roman did it, Solo did it, now Jacob's doing it. They're gonna have the Cobb Boy do it, and then there's other things. It's like Drew McIntyre had a good WrestleMania. Not great, not wonderful, not bad. It was a good WrestleMania. But if you look at the program he had with CM Punk last year, and you look to where he was at WrestleMania, there's no way that is the same character. Drew McIntyre should have been catapulted into the main event scene, win or lose against Punk. That feud was so good between the two. Those two can coexist in the main event scene on different brands. I don't know why WWE doesn't do this. He's a former world champion, Drew McIntyre, and they're just putting him against Damian Priest because one of the greatest things that happened in the Attitude Era was that on any given night, it truly felt like anything could happen. But now it just kind of seems like once we're in a storyline, we're stuck here and you ain't getting out of it. It just would be nice if we could pivot more often. It seems like the last time WWE pivoted was when Rock was going to take Cody's main event title match at WrestleMania. And the only reason they did that is because they saw the absolute tsunami of hate they were getting for doing this to Cody. And I don't understand. Triple H says he doesn't listen to internet stuff. He only listens to the crowds. But then you got some crowds that just honestly give you nothing. But then when they finally give you something, when Karrion Kross pops up on screen and he's the loudest pop of the night, he's selling the most merch. You had to put merch on the stands just to sell it to the fans. And yet this man hasn't been seen in a week. He lost his whole faction. Now it's just back to him and Scarlett. I mean, I really wish I could truly understand where they see everybody fitting into this puzzle, because it seems like Karrion Kross could be an integral part of the whole WWE storyline right now. And he's not even in Money in the Bank. They didn't even put him in a qualifying match. Like, dude, what are we doing here? And I think there's a 50-50 split causing this. I feel like WWE has this mantra that we want to write out long-term storytelling, so that way once we hit these moments, they're going to be huge, grandiose moments. But we're going to make you wait for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you wait too long, nobody cares anymore. And if you rush it, no one cares anymore. Which leads me to the other half of this 50-50 problem, is we're having way too many pay-per-views, PLEs, whatever you want to call them nowadays, back to back to back to back to back, or we're waiting so long for the next one that we're having to make things stretch out so far. Like Jey Uso versus Gunther, that had to be stretched out so far for Mania that it was just rinse and repeat week in, week out until Jimmy got all bloodied. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And then look at the last two pay-per-views. R-Truth versus John Cena, which, I enjoyed. It wasn't a great match. It didn't have to be. It just had to be a moment. But it was so rushed. And then John Cena versus Randy Orton was so insanely rushed, which I can understand. They already have 20 years of history behind this feud. But it just seemed like WWE didn't care about it enough. And it seems like they're caring more about John Cena and Logan Paul. And it seems like that not only are we going to get this main event tag team match of John Cena and Logan Paul versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, but probably later down the line, we're going to get John Cena versus Logan Paul for the WWE Championship. And in his retirement tour, where he's only got, 20 dates left, if not less than that at this point, we're really going to waste him on Logan Paul when he could be going up against, name anybody, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Chad Gable, Gunther. There's a plethora of amazing talent and old storylines, if you want to pick them back up, that John Cena could be going up against, but we're just, waiting around with them. I'm hoping that WWE can finally iron out these problems, because when something happens, when you catch lightning in a bottle, you have to close the lid and tighten it. Because if you don't, it's going to pop right out. And then everyone's going to forget that you even got it in the jar the first place. I mean, I don't know. I really hope that WWE can have this methodical planning and randomness. I feel like that would make a more fun show to watch. I know it's difficult. It's easy just to say. I know it's difficult to put in practice. But if they can not even master it, but just practice it, I feel like Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and everything else by extension, will feel so much better whenever we sit down and watch the show we all love. Oh, there is a third problem, and it's something that will probably never change, but WWE, too many commercials. We don't need them.